Dykstra Dave here. It's been a while since I've done a video. Had some deaths in our family and just been dealing with a lot of stuff, but I'm back. And today I am going to discuss this really good generator. Actually, that's really a surprise. I shouldn't say it's good before I do the review. Again, the reason I do these videos isn't for your likes, your subscriptions, or anything like that. I've never asked for them. I do this because so many of you who've made videos have helped me make wise purchasing decisions. So I feel that I owe the internet and YouTube people the same courtesy back. So with no further ado, I will talk about this generator. All right, side panel is off. Side panel is just held on by these two upper screws. Pops out real nice, got some good sound insulation in there. Very clean and neat and simple machine. Oil is right down there. Basically, you unscrew that, tilt the machine, dump it out. Put it back in the same hole when you want to fill it back up. Like I say, probably 40 plus hours on this unit, maybe up to 50. And didn't burn a drop of oil, even during break-in. So that's impressive. Spark plug is reached through this port, which normally has this cover on it. But really easy access. I've had it out to do some cleaning, and I'll tell you why I had to do that in a second. But yeah, really clean and easy setup. The plastics tend to mark a little bit easy, but you know what? It's meant to be dragged around, and it ain't meant to look pretty. But even with a few scuff marks, I still am proud to carry it around with me. All right, I am going to drain the oil. And having not made videos for a while, I actually lost my tripod, or misplaced. So I will just give you a step-by-step as I go. All right, like I say, just take the unit, pour it out. Now that's pretty black, so I probably could have changed this earlier, but it was that long weekend and basically running at the cottage the whole time. All right, not a lot of oil in there at all, so you know, it's just a small dish and that's it. I don't feel any nitty-gritties, so that's good. Like I say, there's no oil filter on this, so you do want to change your oil. And even with synthetic oil, that might be $2 of oil if you're lucky, $1.50. So you know, it would certainly pay for the longevity of the engine to change that as regular as you can. All right. So while I got it apart, or partially, so what happened over the weekend was it ran and ran and ran and ran, but we ran it on the eco mode. Eco mode, it goes up and down with this button to save you fuel. Now I gotta tell you, this thing running on eco mode, we had two camp fridges, a bug zapper, some cell phone chargers plugged into it. No word of a lie, I was shocked. I haven't put timers on it. My friends were shocked. This thing was running upwards of 12 hours on a tank of fuel. And the fuel tank, maybe 1.5 liters. So there's not much in there, just incredibly fuel efficient. But because I ran it on eco mode, which I never really run it on before because I'm usually running a generator, which takes, a water pump, which takes a lot of juice. I usually leave it on just regular speed. I don't care with the eco mode. But because we were camping and we had all the friends over, I kept it on low. But because it ran on low, near the end of the weekend, it became very difficult to start and actually was making a weird wheezing noise. Till finally it stalled And for the life of me, I couldn't get it started. And this thing starts with the slowest one-time pull every single time. So knew there was something wrong, thought perhaps the oil level had gone down. So I brought it back to the shop here, checked the oil level. It was fine, nothing wrong. Pulled the plug. It was very black, very sooty, and smelt like it was flooded. So I cleaned that up, put it back in, still wouldn't start. Checked it had spark. Pulled it back out again. Looked inside the hole there. The piston runs sideways, so you can see the side skirt of the piston when you look down the spark plug hole. And it was really carboned up. Now, I only run ethanol-free gas in all my equipment. So I'm thinking, what in the world? So in the back of the muffler, we have the port. Well, normally it has these three pieces. Now this would go inside here, and then this would tie it all together, and a screw would hold on part of the part. Well, this is after me many times banging it, soaking it in water. At least now you can see the wires. Before you couldn't see the wires, but this thing you cannot see through. Now I haven't soaked it overnight. I'm gonna have to, but completely 100% plugged. So that sitting in there meant the poor engine was starving. You could not pump out so the carbon just built up inside the piston. It built up inside the exhaust. It fouled the plugs and eventually killed itself. So took this off, took a few good hard pulls, and she puffed like a diesel for about 30 seconds as it cleared some of the carbon out of its system. And now she's back to normal. So I know this is important, spark plug arrestor, and with all the forest fires we are having, you can't negate stuff like this, but if you're leaving it in there, that has got to be a regular maintenance item and getting it out. I would think if you stuff steel wool in there, that's probably the route I'll go. It'd be much easier just to pull it out and replace and be far less restrictive than this little thin thing that clearly is totally plugged in, backing up the system. So that was our beef over the weekend. It ran, but I think, again, if I had run it on the high speed, it would have gotten hot enough to burn off the soot, and I don't think we would have had this problem. So eco mode certainly saves you gas, but I don't know how good it is for your machine if you've got this thing in there. All right, I am just gonna put some oil back in and fire it back up. Oil changed, one little tug, and away she goes. Clips that goes into the cigarette lighter so you can directly charge your car battery, your solar bank. Overall, honestly, at least as far as Canada goes, I don't believe you can get a better bargain than this. And I own two or three large 45 to 5500 watt generators for backup, but none have been as smooth and easy running as this, and cheap on gas. I'm actually considering getting two and paralleling them to run the camper at the cottage. They're just that good on fuel, and $4.99, that's you can't buy a lithium-ion phosphate battery for that much. Anyway, thanks again. Thanks for listening to the channel. I hope you found that useful. That's my purpose in doing these things, is to just give you information so you can make a wise choice. So on a value scale, this is right up there, 8, 9 on a value scale of 10. And value is not what you pay, but it's what you get for what you pay. Everyone, you can buy things that are more expensive. You can get a Honda, but you're gonna pay 4 times the price here. You can buy some little knockoff, little tiny one for maybe a little bit less, but this one for $400+ upwards of $5, I don't think you can beat it. Anyway, I'll keep you up to date as we crank the hours on this thing, and if something comes up, I will update. Thank you.